Hi everyone, my name is Alyssa and I'm a licensed insurance agent and I make videos about money management and career skills. Today I'm going to be talking about the money lessons that we can learn from the TV show The Middle. Now, the point of this video is not to make a literary analysis of the show. The point is to see if we can relate to these characters and what we can learn from them and then apply that to our own lives if we wish to do so. Now, the reason I chose The Middle specifically is because I know there's a lot of Reddit forums, there's a lot of posting going on with people talking about how much they relate to the Middle characters and how much they relate to the money struggles and just how hashtag relatable it is, the various things that happen on this show regarding their money. And because these are characters on a TV show instead of real people, there's no need to sugarcoat anything or beat around the bush. We can just get right into the money mistakes they're making and how they could do better. So, some backstory on the show. Frankie and Mike are Americans who have 3 children, Axel, Sue, and Brick. Frankie is a car salesperson for the first few seasons, and then she goes back to school and becomes a dental hygienist, while her husband Mike works at a quarry. Now, we don't know the exact income and the exact expenses, as these are never revealed, but we do know that they don't make a lot of money, and they do have quite a few expenses, including their mortgage, their property tax, their home insurance, possible HOA fees, their car insurance, utility bills, internet, cable, etc., along with any additional costs associated with having 3 children who are dependent on them pretty much throughout the entire series. So these first few clips are from the very beginning of the series in Season 1, Episode 2.
Oh my God, Mike. It's 2009.
What? Already?
Yeah, Mike. 2009. How did this happen? No payments till 2009.
No payments till 2009.
No payments till 2009. The economy's gonna be great by then. Great. Now with interest, we owe $650 on a VCR we sold at the garage sale last year for $2.
Okay, so please don't do this. Do not sign up for payment plans with interest on electronics and appliances, in this case a VCR, a microwave, and a TV. If you can't afford to pay the full price for these items up front, then buy used. I know the VCR is a bit out of date, but items like a TV you could buy used for $100 to $200, and a microwave you could definitely get for $50 or less. And so seriously, if you can't afford a new TV or a new refrigerator, microwave, oven, stove, computer, phone, patio set, washer dryer set, whatever it might be, please buy one used on Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji rather than going on a payment plan where you'll have a shiny new item, but later you'll have to pay for it with interest, especially since these are depreciating assets, meaning that you aren't going to be able to sell them for the same price you bought them for. As we saw with the VCR, they said that they sold it at their garage sale for $2, but now owe over $600 on it. And so that's the very first thing we can learn from Frankie and Mike, is if you can't afford something that's a little bit of a bigger, more expensive item, like an appliance, like an electronic item, things like that, definitely consider buying used, especially if you live in a bigger city where there's lots of people selling online.
Our luck started to turn around after that. Some stupid bank actually approved us for a brand new credit card, so we paid off Brick's library fines. We were able to afford contacts for Sue, and she actually made the swim team. Well, 34th alternate. And the best part of the new credit card? No payments till 2012. And I'm sure by 2012, everything's gonna be great.
Alright, so evidently they didn't really learn their lesson, and the really painful part here is that they got a whole bunch of stuff a few years ago through payment plans with interest rates, and now in this episode they're struggling all throughout to be able to pay. But in the same breath, they take out another credit card and say, oh, no payments till 2012, everything will be great by then. And they fail to recognize that they're continuing that same pattern that they started back when they took out those things and said, no payments till 2009, it's going to be great by then. And in 2012, will they take out yet another credit card that'll be no payments till 2015? And then in 2015, will they take out another credit card or get more things on payments and say, oh, no payments till 2018? That's just it. How long will this pattern continue for before they realize that they can't do this forever?
Listen, I'm 16 now. and I think we can all agree that I've proven myself to be responsible.
You took out the garbage once.
And I brought in the paper. So, I think you guys should consider the fact that I clearly deserve my own car.
Mom, all the cool kids have Citizens of Humanity jeans, and I am the only person in the entire school who doesn't.
$112 for one pair of jeans?
Fine. If you can find a car for the same price as those jeans, you go for it. I should have known better. That cost $112?
110. Keep the change. Buy yourself something pretty.
Now, although it does not make any sense to me whatsoever to be spending $100 on a pair of jeans because your daughter pressured you into it, I will say that at least the jeans are a one-time purchase. They purchased them once and now they're done. Whereas that car may have cost about the same of those jeans initially, but what's going to happen when that car needs repairs, or when the insurance bill comes due, or what about gas? And I doubt that it's going to be 16-year-old Axel's responsibility to take care of those expenses. It really falls on the parents in this case. Now, not only were these purchases frivolous and unnecessary, but they're teaching their kids that if they beg and complain enough, they can get what they want, even though it's not their birthday, it's not the winter holiday season, rather than teaching their kids that if they want something like a car or an immensely expensive pair of jeans, they need to work for it. And after working hard for so many hours, I doubt Sue would have decided that it was worth spending so much money on one pair of jeans, or that Axel would have felt that it would be worth spending so much money on car insurance and gas and repairs when he doesn't have an actual need for a car right now, since he's a teenager who lives with his parents instead of an adult with a job. But going back to the main point here, Frankie and Mike are the ones who are working very long hours, working very hard to earn the money, and yet they're letting other people influence how they spend their money to such an extent that they're spending hundreds of dollars on luxury items for their kids instead of using that money to pay off some of their credit card debt, or paying their utility bills with that money, or putting it towards their next mortgage payment. And that's likely where that money would have ended up had they just had a bit of backbone and said no to their kids and encouraged their kids to go get jobs instead, especially Axel in this case. He is 16 years old. He is old enough that he could get a job if he wanted to do so. The reason he doesn't have one is because, in his words, that sucked. But unfortunately, these kids expect their parents to buy them things, even things that they can't necessarily afford. Alright, and the third and final point today is that we see them making a lot of very small purchases that add up. Because I'm going to be honest, this family isn't spending crazy, absorbent amounts of money going on fancy trips or buying flat screen TVs, or, they're not doing anything super crazy with their money. But what they are doing is they are making a lot of little tiny purchases that add up and not thinking about it because each singular purchase is very small. For example, Frankie often gets coffee before work, and that's something that adds up, and she could be saving a lot of money if she made coffee at home. The family also eats a lot of fast food to the point where eating fast food is the norm, and going to the Frugal Hoosier, which is the discount grocery store that's in their town, is seen as some new crazy thing they're doing to try and live within their means more.
So are we, poor now?
No, we're not poor. We're just thrifty. We're trying something new called living within our means.
You mean we're living outside our means? Oh, God.
Hey, you should be thanking me.
And make no mistake, these expenses might seem very small, but they're adding up. Let's start with the coffee example. Let's say that Frankie drinks coffee every day, every weekday, every day that she goes to work, and each coffee costs $3. She's doing that 5 days a week, 50 weeks out of the year. That is $750 worth of coffee. And it's even worse with the fast food, although the fast food does take care of the whole family rather than just one person. But let's say the fast food is $5 a person. That's $25 every time they get fast food. And let's say that they get fast food for 365 days of the year. They're going to be spending $9,125, and that's not even on all their meals. That would just be on every dinner they have together as a family, sitting on their couch eating that food. And I don't think they realize, if they were to cut back a bit and maybe only have fast food once per week as a special treat, how much money they could save and also just how much healthier their meals could really be. Alright, so what are our takeaways here? What can we learn from this family? That if you can't afford something, don't do a payment plan where you're going to owe interest and where you're not going to be able to sell the item for more than you got it for. You're going to be upside down on your items. No, buy used. If you can't afford something, at least try and buy used. I promise it will be much, much nicer when in a couple years you don't owe all this money, all this interest on items that aren't even shiny and new any longer. Also, do not give in to peer pressure from your children to buy them things that they don't actually need. When you've got credit card debt, you've got bills, you've got things that are much more important to take care of than whatever it is your kids desire. And the third one is to pay attention to those little expenses in your bank account. Where exactly is all your money going? How much are you spending on coffee every year, fast food, restaurants? How much are all these tiny little purchases adding up to be? And try to conceptualize it. How much could that money be doing for you elsewhere? What's the opportunity cost of choosing to have fast food every day? And how can you get out of that routine? All right, well, I guess that's everything. Bye for now.